Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another Live Wire Sports Media. All right, so the Washington Commanders held a first preseason joint practice with the New York Jets today, and clearly it was some stuff that need to be taken out. I mean, it could be taken out of context, could not be taken out of context. But as you see right there, Garrett Wilson had himself a day against the Commanders defense. Especially Emmanuel Forbes, who's seen a struggle at times throughout the joint practice. But nonetheless, that you can pretty define that there's a lot that need to be approved. Garrett Wilson is one of the top receivers in the game. We've seen last year that Emmanuel Forbes struggled a lot on one-on-one coverage. I don't know if that's going to be something that they continue to try out throughout these preseason games, because you have the Miami Dolphins with Tyreek Hill doing next week, and that's going to be another struggle. So if he continues to struggle, especially in the preseason games, we'll know Saturday when the preseason game starts how he's going to look, because you only get 3 of them. So, but it's going to be something you're going to have to take notice of, and pretty much now I'll give y'all some updates here, because there was supposed to be a live stream footage with the Jets today, but it only been up for like a few minutes or so, and then it went down. Same thing with the Ravens last year. So just relying on resources from other places to give out content. David Harrison, who hosts Lockdown Canes, I think he wrote for SI.com right now. He had a few takes on what's going on, especially with the offensive line. And the offensive line had a few key players out today. You know, like Andrew Wiley. You know, he was out. Rookie Brandon Coleman, he missed all but some stretches of light work on the side. Sam Causey was out, you know, from his 2-day absence, but didn't participate. So you are to know that there was going to be kind of no cohesiveness when it comes to line protection, and which is something that we really struggled a whole lot last year, is line protection. Now, through training camp, the line looks good. Jaden Daniels looks good. But, you know, today, the offensive line struggled. Well, mostly the second-team offensive line struggled against the Jets' pass rush. As a result, you know, your quarterback is going to be under pressure, which Jaden Daniels was. So that comes to be expected when you are dealing with backups. You know, because when you have your starters, they're going to know how your quarterback is moving in the pocket and how he likes to do things, so forth and so on. Now, also, Aaron Rodgers did not play today. He did not practice today, participated in a joint practice. So, like I said, that's nothing really, you know, Aaron Rodgers has been in the game for a long, long time, so it's what it is. Now, by the offensive line not being in the lineup, you know, you're working with a second unit, it led to short pass attempts and a lot of hurry throws. You know, some of them felt incomplete, and that's going to signify how well you deal with pressure. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, that is something that Washington struggled last year, and a result of Sam Howell being hurried a lot. You know, but I think with Jaden Daniels' skill set his escapability is going to allow him to not take a lot of sacks, not throw a lot of turnovers. So On one of the defensive reps, Will McDonald hit Jaden Daniels' arm, knocking the ball loose. It was a no to touch the quarterback in practice, but it also a example of how dominant the Jets pass rush was on Thursday. But like I say, me personally, I don't think that would have happened if the starting offensive line was in there. I just don't see that happening. So we never gonna know, because the offensive line might not play. They might not play none in the preseason. So you're going to see backups. So you can't really judge Jalen Daniels on just basically that. But we already know that the Jets defensive line is going to be good. They're going to bring pressure. Now, as for Jalen Daniels, he had some marketable throws, and he threw some in the rain with no gloves on. And like I've been saying before, Jaden Daniels can throw. He's a thrower of the football. He could throw. He could really put the ball in places where it needed to be, and he's going. That's like his running escapability is his superpowers. And I had this conversation early tonight with, one of my friends. His his superpower is his legs, his running ability, but his throwing his throwing as a passer is very under underappreciated, and that's going to catch a lot of teams by surprise this year because they're going to stack the box. They're going to want to not allow him out the box to run, and it's not like how Lamar Jackson is, you know, because Lamar Jackson wasn't a great thrower. Same thing with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson wasn't a great runner, but he was a great thrower. You got Jaden Daniels that has the best of both worlds. He can throw and run. You're gonna have to really pick your poison when you dealing with Jaden Daniels in the pocket because if you solely focus on him running the ball and he carves you up for about 300 yards passing and a couple of touchdowns, then that's gonna make you evaluate your game differently, and then you're gonna worry about the passing, and then you're gonna open up running lanes for the Brian Robinson, Austin Eckler, and for Jaden Daniels to get out of the backfield. So it's going to be really hard to defend the Washington offense once it start clicking and start going. Um, but Daniels he's like we all been talking about. He's a rookie. He's going to do things, but he's very poised as a rookie. And it's going to be a lot of things that he's going to need to work on. Oh, so I'm not going to beat up on a dead horse on that topic. It's not like how I could really sit there and say, okay, for the last couple of years, we have this quarterback. Jaden Daniels is a special unique quarterback. There's a lot of things he's need to work on because me personally, I have confidence that he's going to be able to do the things that he needs to do. So I'm not worried about that at all. Now, but as for the defense, Emmanuel Forbes, he gained 17 pounds in the offseason. I still don't think that he's a cover corner. And I'm not going to sit there and think this man is a cover corner because he's going to get torched. We seen last year how he got dog dragged by A.J. Brown. He got torched, he got lit up. And if you don't believe me, take an example of this, and this is joint practice. So imagine what it is if it was game speed. And that was just one of many that Garrett Wilson um, got over on him. Now, Forbes did manage to get an interception in practice, but I think last year he got an interception in practice, in joint practice. So I'm not making too much of it. I just think the defense is going to if they don't figure out the cornerback position because St. Jude's if they put St. Jude's and him on the corner, we're gonna have trouble That's going to leave a lot of pressure for your safeties. That's going to be a lot of pressure for your linebackers, and you don't want to get in that. You need at least one lockdown corner. And if Forbes is in that lockdown corner, then what you need to do, you need to find that corner. Even in free agency, bringing somebody like a Stephon Gilmore that's familiar with Dan Quinn's system, put him in there. Let Forbes play the slide. At least you don't have to worry about him, getting beat for bombs. We don't want that like we had last year. We don't want those long, drawn out, big completions. We don't want that. We want to keep everything in front of us, and that's how Dan Quinn is going to play. Now, like I said, Dan Quinn is going to play aggressive. He wants fast people, so I don't know. Now, like I say, Forbes did have an interception on 7-on-7 portion of the practice, but during the 14 session, he more than gave that one back to the Jets receiver Garrett Wilson, because, like I said, you show where Tyrell Taylor threw a good pass to Garrett Wilson, and it was for the end zone. But just imagine if that was Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is going to pump fake. He knows how to place the ball. Garrett Wilson probably would have went straight instead of, but that's the difference. So my takeaways from this is I think that overall, I feel like this joint practice was good and bad for the Commanders. Even though Emmanuel Forbes is not, he's not a starter on the depth chart, while the depth chart in August don't matter, but it just goes to show that he's playing against some of these best receivers. Jane Daniels is going to have his ups and downs because his starting offensive line wasn't there. So you don't get to see anything that was merely incorporated like he did in training camp. So, but if there's any concern, it is for to me, I think it's for the defense. Now, we still have to find us a right tackle. We got our first left tackle in Coleman. We still need to find that right tackle. And that's what, these backups going to have to solidify. They're going to have to solidify that right tackle position. So, like I said, they might have another practice tomorrow before a game on Saturday. We'll see. But if it is, then I'll bring you another recap video on that. But I don't know, guys. Y'all let me know what y'all think. What is your thoughts on Emmanuel Forbes since this is the first joint practice? Now, they were saying he was doing good in training camp, but we already know practice against another team and everything is totally different, especially when it gets to game. Because when we get to September, you're going to be playing the first game of the season. You're going to be playing against the Tampa Bay Bucks with Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and you definitely, if you ain't up to speed up the task, by that time, Dan Quinn, by the time the third preseason game rolls around, I do believe Dan Quinn should know what he has at cornerback position. And if he needs to go out there and grab somebody like a Stephon Gilmore, I'll be, go ahead, get him and let him hold down that other spot until we could go into the draft next year and get the guy that we need in that spot. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell anytime I drop a hardcore video. Until then, this is your Commander, Livewire Sports and Media, and I'm out.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.